Cyprus, and to the Spark Plus team, thank you very much for the opportunity to present International Graphite today at your Equities Day. So International Graphite is on track to be Western Australia's first fully integrated mine-to-market graphite producer. For those who may not be familiar with, graphite is the anode in lithium-ion batteries, and there is up to 10 times more graphite than lithium in a lithium-ion batteries. There's no real substitutes for graphite, and it could be synthetic or natural flake as we're producing, but essentially graphite remains for the long term the anode in lithium-ion batteries, and there is really unprecedented growth forecast for lithium-ion batteries, and we'll have a look at that later in this presentation. And very importantly, the world is seeking ethically and sustainable produced battery commodities. So from an ESG perspective, the really great thing about what we're doing is that we have our mine, we have our production facilities and our downstream processing facilities all here in Western Australia. It gives us total supply chain surety. It gives us quality assurance surety, and it allows us to manage our supply chain from the mine to the end customer. We can manage our environment. We're already investigating low carbon power opportunities through an MOU that we have with a proposed 200 megawatt battery that's going to be built in Collie. So it puts us in a great position from an ESG perspective. We're a recent listing, listed on the 7th of April this year at 20-cent shares. We've still managed to maintain currently 29 cents. It gives us a market cap currently of 48 million. Got about $8 million in the bank, giving us an EV of around $40 million. So our leadership team, Matthew O'Kane on the left of the screen, and Andy Warland on the right of the screen are financial men, and myself and David Pass as the other two directors of International Graphite are technical people. We've both got a long history with graphite. I've been working in graphite now for the last 7 years, saw the opportunity for downstream processing, pursued that initially through the Middle East, and then we settled on Collie as our preferred facility here in Western Australia. So Western Australia is developing a world-class battery hub. We've got lithium, we've got one of the best lithium mines in the world at Greenbushes. We've got lithium hydroxide plants being completed now and under commissioning or under startup. There's one in Kwinana here in Western Australia, one at Kemerton. We've got Ecograph that is developing a downstream processing facility here in Western Australia, and we've got International Graphite. So graphite's got critical mineral status here in Australia. Western Australia has just been ranked as #1 jurisdiction in the world by the Fraser Institute, and we've already been offered a $2 million grant, or been awarded a $2 million grant to help us set up our initial Collie facility by the Western Australian government. We have wonderful WA government support and indeed from the Australian government. So where is this located? We're in the southwest of Western Australia. The mine, the proposed mine is at Springdale, where our resource is. We're then looking at producing a concentrate at Springdale, shipping that, trucking that across to Collie, where we'll be doing our downstream processing. The Springdale resource, there's currently an inferred resource of around 15 million tonnes at 6% total graphitic carbon. Our high-grade zone is around 2.5 million tonnes at 17% total graphitic carbon, or TGC. So we have a very high-grade zone there, and most excitingly and importantly, we have a whole number of targets that have been identified through VTEM or electromagnetic surveys, and indeed, we're now drilling and showing that these targets are proving to be very good opportunities to expand our resource. We're currently in a resource drilling program. We're doing 7,000 metres. We've got two main objectives. One is to convert the inferred to indicated resource and to expand that resource. And then secondly, exploring these additional targets. So we've got 54 RC holes down in the resource program and 12 diamond holes. We're also generating samples for further metallurgical test work and downstream processing, and of course looking at expanding our resource significantly. Test work has already been done on metallurgical concentrating of our feed to the plant, proposed plant, and from a feed grade of around 10%, we are generating about a 95% concentrate grade through metallurgical test work. Micronization, spheroidizing and purification work has been conducted in Germany at specialist testing facilities there. It's shown that we can purify up to 99.99% plus graphite, which 99.95 is pretty much the required percentage purification for battery applications. It's been shown that the material does micronize and spheroidize, and so we have a very good potential product for producing our purified spherical material. In Collie, we have a facility there that is near commissioning. It is a research and development facility. We've just moved into a new building, not the one shown here, but a new building that where we're setting up our new facilities. And we expect to be commissioning the pilot plant by the middle of, or by the early August. The pilot plant will be, we believe, the largest such plant here in Australia. Collie's a great location. It's in an established industrial location. It's a coal mining town, and they're all very easy to get to. It's got skilled workforce, and we've got terrific government and community support in Collie. And that's where we're planning to develop our full-scale downstream processing facility. So, quick look at what the process looks like. From Collie, the mining, the concentrating to produce our concentrate of around 95%. It's predominantly a fine flake graphite, so we'll be going straight into the battery anode processing and industrial processing streams. On the battery anode side, we'll be micronizing, spheroidizing and purification to first of all produce purified spherical graphite, but it's very much our plan to further value add that product through coating to produce coated purified spherical graphite for battery anode materials. We'll also be doing some industrial processing, purification and micronizing to provide specialist products for the renewables industry. So our key goals time-wise, Springdale, we're already well into the drilling campaign. We expect our first drilling results out in September. There is a planning for our expanded resource by November. We expect to complete the pre-feas study by April 23 and a definitive study by around October with a finance investment decision by the end of next year. And the Collie plant, commissioning our pilot plant now and into August with our first product samples out of that pilot plant by August. We then plan on establishing customer MOUs, and I'll be going across to Germany in November with that in mind. Doing a full small commercial micronizing plant we plan to install in the first half of next year. Completing our feasibility studies for both Collie and using the Springdale concentrates by the end of next year with a finance investment decision in 2024. And that'll lead to an integrated Western Australian operation by 2024-25. So the demand for lithium-ion batteries, I'm sure that any of us who are looking at this presentation are aware of the massive demand that is projected. So this is undertaken by or prepared by Benchmark Minerals Intelligence. You can see the yellow band through there is the expected demand for lithium-ion batteries for EV purposes, and the light green band is the expected demand for fixed storage batteries. So you can see the massive projections that are expected for lithium-ion batteries. When we have a look at this in terms of graphite, it's really showing the massive shortfall in graphite supply that is projected. The red line is the demand line. This is in the middle here, 2025. The light green band is the known processing capacity coming online. The blue one is the probable additional, but you can see that there is going to be a massive shortfall in there as the demand for batteries increases. And these are the gigafactories that are currently either being built or under development in Europe. And it's just a massive scene of graphite production required for these batteries, and more is being demanded ethically produced graphite with strong supply chains that can be justified in terms of really saying that they're environmentally and socially produced. If we have a look at our peers, then International Graphite, our current market cap, as I said earlier, around 48 million. If we compare that with our competitors, if we have a look specifically, the best one we've got is Renascor. Renascor is also an Australian graphite developer. Its project is in South Australia. It is further advanced on the resource and mine side, but International Graphite is well advanced on the downstream processing side. And we're planning to expand our mineral resource with the work we're doing now, and to be in shape to be our financed investment decision by the end of next year into 2024. So Cyprus, that's pretty much my presentation for now.